So this guy's got hurt feelings all the way around, and he doesn't want to play there. So I'm sure he'll do whatever he has to do to be excused from camp.
That man, Baker Mayfield, got excused from camp. I know you guys seen this in the news. They said it was mutual, right?
Right.
So with all the Deshaun Watson stuff going on, we're not going to go ahead and get into that. That's neither here nor there. With the Deshaun Watson stuff going on, this is a little surprising that they mutually agreed to let possibly who's going to be their starting quarterback if the Deshaun Watson thing ends up turning on the flip side. They just excused him from camp. So a lot of those younger guys are going to have to step up. When you guys heard the news, what did you think? I'll start with Coach first.
When I heard the news, I wasn't surprised because, again, ever since, they didn't tell them about Deshaun Watson, they was going after Deshaun Watson. I wasn't surprised that he was hacked off at all. So it's a good thing, to excuse him from camp, because you don't want that guy keep coming in the locker room or keep coming out there on the field and not showing no sense of humor and not just being motivated to be out there. So it's clear, that he's disgruntled at this point. Last year, I thought he took a more of a selfish role of not getting his body healed up instead of playing through that torn rotated cup with Case Keenum came in and won them the game and beat an undefeated Broncos team who was really, really hot. They beat an undefeated Broncos team at that time with Case Keenum, but his shoulder was hurt since week 2 last year against my Houston Texans. He hurt that torn rotated cup, and somehow after that Case Keenum game, he would not come out of games when he was severely hurt and stuff like that. That's just showing his unwilling. I know it's showing he kind of trying to show a little bit of toughness, but it's the difference. When you're injured, you can play a little bit better. But when you're hurt, goddamn, you can't. That's just a selfish little thing right there. But then icing on the cake, getting Deshaun Watson after Deshaun Watson kind of ruled him out a little bit, and you was thinking, the Saints or the Falcons, because him and Pitts have the same agent a little bit. But then again, Watson chooses to choose the Cleveland Browns over both of those teams. I thought he would have been very good with the Saints. I thought the Saints would have made so much very good sense for him with that defense and having him, in there. But again, man, I think that's a good move by the Cleveland Browns and stuff. Just getting the disgruntledness up out of there, man, and giving them the other opportunities. You never know if you keep Baker Mayfield on this roster, keep making him an open day starter. Hell, he may goddamn throw a game at this point in time when he gets out there. You don't want to get anything close to that.
Yeah. And Don, what was your thoughts when you seen it?
Well, not too surprised at all. I mean, you've heard from the team they didn't like playing with him in the off season. They tried to trade him. They tried actively to trade him, and it didn't happen. They picked up another quarterback, a better quarterback. So this guy's got hurt feelings all the way around, and he doesn't want to play there. So I'm sure he'll do whatever he has to do to be excused from camp. I wouldn't want him at camp right now, personally.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I guess that they're looking at is when you look at their depth chart, of course, they signed Josh Dobbs, and call it what it is. That dude's never going to start a game unless the whole roster just gets hurt and he's just the next guy up. But on the other end, they do have Jacoby Brissett, who I've always had a ton of respect for ever since I've seen him, light the season up after Andrew Luck had decided to retire early, which still hurts me to my core. But, one of the things that I guess you look at is maybe he's that answer to this complicated puzzle of things that are going on, because it's not, think about it, you got 3 totally different situations. You got Baker, who doesn't want to be there, and the Browns don't want him there, obviously. You have Deshaun Watson's situation. There's no need to go through that. The magic number is 66. And then you have Jacoby Brissett, who's coming in as a veteran that's been a journeyman at this point in his career, that I don't know if teams are really going out there and trusting at this point, I guess, is the, lack for a better word. So Gene says in the chat, they don't want him there. He doesn't want to be there. Simple stuff. I totally agree. He said, Coach and Dante have that's so wrong. It's not selfish to fight through injuries to play and for your teammates. I agree and disagree at the same time. It's a double-edged sword. It's, you know, do you want to be courageous and play through it, and you can still just fight through it like you got a cortisone shot and you can just totally ignore it like Matt Stafford did? Or do you risk hurting yourself even more, and then the news stories come out and your teammates are like, dude, if it's really that serious, we need you for years to come. Like, this one game, it's not worth your health to sacrifice yourself for one game. I mean, it's a double-edged sword, and I guess that's where it, you know, I'm sure Don feels about it a separate way than how me and Coach feel about it. You definitely feel a little different about it too.
The only reason I will say that because they wasn't making the playoffs. They wasn't not going to the playoffs. They weren't in playoff contention. So again, that's the only reason I say that. Get your body healed up. I mean, Case Keenum is not a bad quarterback. He's proven that he can come in and handle the load. I mean, he led the Browns to a week 3 victory over the hot Broncos. They played the Broncos and beat them. He took the Vikings to the NFC Championship. So at the end of the day, they still wasn't making the playoffs. They weren't making the playoffs. They didn't get eliminated to week 17, but did anybody think they were making a playoff push? I didn't think they were going to make a playoff push. So, I mean, hey.
I thought this was interesting when I pulled up the statistics here. The record is the one thing that does jump out at you, but I mean, he does have 92 touchdowns and 56 interceptions in his career this far. I mean, to be completely honest with you, this is not as bad as some other quarterbacks. I mean, if you look at and I've been high on Cam Newton, I know, but if you look what Cam Newton has done over the last couple of years and you compare it up against the most recent or careers with Baker Mayfield at this point, I mean, Baker Mayfield could probably be a good starting quarterback somewhere. I mean, I know we're looking at the Seahawks, and I just recently did a video on Drew Lock, and thank you everybody that's watched that video. That video is at 7.5K, you said, Don?
Yes, sir.
With tons of likes and everything of me comparing his first 3 years to Drew Brees' 3 years. But this could be a perfect example of the Seahawks trying to pick some guy up like him. I still think he has a lot of gas in the tank, but again, I still think that he was the best guy for the Browns, but I mean, to take them to their first playoff that they haven't seen in years, it's been, it's been 86 years or whatever, or whatever it was, man. But yeah, Baker Mayfield, good luck to you, man. But there's not a lot of things riding with you right now when you're the type of person that you are. So.